there a type of bed?
Anukum, no.
Wenikum?
No, Anu. Mouth.
Your mouth is tired.
Yeah.
Your mouth is sleepy.
Anukum.
When my opponent was in government, he abolished the nursing training allowances. And we said we will restore the nursing training allowances. And we have restored the nursing training allowances. Can you trust my opponent with nursing training allowances? You cannot. Ubodi, now about school. Then you ask your question. Then we go 4 questions, and His Excellency is ready to answer all your questions.
My name is Abdulalim Jaria, an nursing student from Techima Nkobo NMTC. The question I want to ask is, when are we getting Alawa? Since I started my school, since first year, I've not gotten Alawa until now, and I'm in my last semester now. And some of us are not being able to pay our school fees. Next week like this, we'll be writing our exams. Those who will not be able to pay their fees will be sacked. They wouldn't be allowed to write exams. So if the Alawa were given to us, they would have been able to pay their fees. So my question is, when are we getting Alawa?
Thank you.
Okay.
Sunrise on 3FM.
We have 2 of our very own in studio. We'll have a conversation with them. There's a gathering of journalists, and yesterday they were told to hold duty bearers accountable. We'll get into that conversation a bit, but we have a message from Pepsodent for you. Helen, what does it say?
We do indeed. Well, every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. Brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter gives your teeth the protection that they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with profluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. This prevents cavities, keeps your teeth strong and your mouth healthy. Now, Pepsodent Cavity comes in 175-gram big family pack, 120-gram Ejakwa pack, 65 grams and 12-gram sachets, so you can always get what you can afford at any time. Don't just use toothpaste that brushes your teeth, use Pepsodent that protects your teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and also before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth for 25 years. It is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. Pepsodent also gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist for free. So do call toll-free 0800-161-000 to talk to a dentist absolutely free. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you. Call the customer care center toll-free 0800-200-30. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
Every smile matters indeed. Christopher Mwako is in studio. He's my colleague journalist with the Northern Regional Bureau, and Ibrahim Abubakar is also from the Ashanti Regional Bureau. And if you like, the Northern Bureau for both of them. We're trying to understand the regions. We're getting into the regions. We talk about the demographics. We'll talk about key concerns of the regions, who to expect, what's happening, really, the dynamics on the ground. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning. Ibrahim, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Kaula.
Alafi.
Katumabiola.
Alafi Benny.
This. We have changed the channel for you, Helen.
I'm following.
Ibrahim, let's begin from the Ashanti region. I mean, let's look at the demographics. It's the heart of the NPP party. The NDC is trying to get in there. There's also the Alantemantin factor that is also taking a center stage. But let's understand the region in terms of the demographics. What does it look like?
Okay, Johnny, good morning to our listeners. So when we talk about Ashanti region, Prior to the 2021 census, we know the region has been the most populous region. It was after the 2021 that we see Greater Accra leading Ashanti region slightly, I think by 13,000 people, because it's still 5.4.
Right.
And you look at the number of people who vote there. Out of the 5.4 million, we have over 3 million voting in Ashanti region. And traditionally, we know Ashanti region to be the heart of the MPP, the vote basket, because usually when during election and the results are coming, people are waiting to see the figures from Bantama, Kwabre East. It will come and it will clear like 5 or 4 constituencies in other regions. And you know, Ashanti region vote alone is sometimes able to clear 6, 7, 8 regions.
Yes.
So the number of votes there are very, very significant, and we know, like we said, is the heart of the MPP. So the MPP doesn't joke with that region because that is. But then there are issues of the region being loyal to the party, but it doesn't correspond with the development.
And that's a very fair point to raise, because I remember the episode with former majority leader Osechi Mensah Bunsu, how he was pelted with, sachet water in his own backyard. Swami has also come under the radar recently. They want to do some decongestion there, move them and all of that. And then you look at the demand that the people are making in terms of the tangible results that they want to see. They say, well, look at the KGZR market. It's John Maham's legacy for us. What have you done for us? And also, those conversations come up here and there. Do you get a sense that the people will tilt towards the arch rivals of the NPP because of these issues?
Well, it's possible because things are changing. Back in the days, there were people who were just going strictly by because my forefathers or my people were supporting the NPP, so it should go that way. But now it's becoming issue of concern. People are looking at development as well. In 2020, I remember the government promised the people of Ashanti region 4 interchanges. That was a way of complementing the loyalty of the people.
Right.
And as we speak, out of the 4, because we're supposed to get one at Anloga Junction, Airport Runabout, Bekwai Runabout, then Almighty Swami Runabout. It was just recently, last year or so, that we saw the president cutting sword for the Swami interchange to begin, and we've not gotten anywhere. And how things are panning out, I'm not sure the government will be able to complete before. So these are issues. Well, people are saying that when it comes to building of schools, road projects, every government does it, but they want something monumental, something tangible to see for themselves that this government has done it for us. Now we talk about, like you said, the second phase of the KJTR market project. For almost 2 years now, work has been stalled, and people have been angry. Now the traders even said they will embark on a 5-day protest. Now, just last week, they've issued they've written letters to the contractor to open the barricades for them to go and start their trading if they know that they cannot finish
the project.
We know the Kumasi Airport, fortunately, just last week, it's been commissioned, even though officially we are not. It's not international, so we are only seeing domestic operations there. We are told that hopefully maybe by September it will become international, and people are still asking questions why they need to rush and commission it when it is not an international.
I asked somebody that question. I said, well, John Kuma, bless his soul, may he rest well. I asked that question that if we have an international airport in the Ashanti region, right, the Kumasi International Airport, why were we bringing John Kuma to Accra to come and board a plane from here, from Kutuka, to go outside to South Africa? I asked that question, and I mean, it's a common sense question. If you have an international airport close to you, you don't need to ferry the person all the way. So you're right when you say the job has not been done, but
no. Even officially it was even commissioned on Friday, just this past Friday.
Right.
But even with that, the transport minister is telling us that it will start the international operations somewhere in September. So now they need to pull down the old structure. So the justification was that because they need to pull down the old structure to extend the runway, the expansion works. So they have to commission the new facility to move the workers there so that they will have to do that job. And so there are so many things. Then we are also looking at the Konfanochi and Biu. These are monumental projects that the people of Ashanti region were hoping that this government will at least complete this project before leaving office. But per the look of things, it will be difficult.
There's also the Afari Hospital and some other hospitals that, are still under lock and key, even though they had been the military hospital and all of that.
Yes, the Afari Hospital, we are told, is completed, but they said they have some finishing touches to do. That project, if the government wants to commission it maybe in the next month or so, I'm sure they can
do that.
Because the structure itself is completed. They have machines in there. There's just, I think, 5% work left to be done to complete it. Then we have the Sewa Hospital, which is supposed to be the regional hospital. That facility, when completed, is definitely going to reduce the pressure on Konfanochi because we know Konfanochi receives 12 out of the 16 referrals from the 16 regions. So people are looking at completion of those projects so that at least they will know that the loyalty, the vote that they are giving to the ruling MPP will correspond with the development that they are getting in the region. So now things are changing. People are looking at issues of development, how those issues are affecting them. And I'm sure that is what people use to decide in the December 7 election.
Helen, take us to the north.
All right, well, let's turn our attentions now to the northern region. Chris is here. Now, some have described this upcoming election as a battle of the sons of the north. How is that playing out in the northern regions of Ghana? What significance is that putting on this year's proceedings?
Yes, so Ellen, very good morning to our cherished listeners and those who watch us on social media. Let me first say that this is the first time we have two northerners battling it out when it comes to the number one position of the country. And even though former President John Mahama has been there before, he's contested with Akufo-Addo twice and lost. This time he's contesting with the vice president. And the dynamics so far in the north has to do with the fact that, the northern region, as it stands now, when it comes to the voting patterns, for presidential, it's always been for the NDC. But when it comes to the parliamentary, as it stands, NDC has 9 seats, MPP 9 seats, because of the splitting of the then northern region
to Savannah and then northeast.
Yes.
Okay, then the traditional northern region itself.
So the traditional northern region, as it stands now, with 16 MMDAs, we also have 18 constituencies, because in Tamale alone we have 4 constituencies, but 1 metro, 1 municipal, so making it 18 constituencies. NDC is holding on to 9, MPP holding on to 9. Now you go to the Savannah region, the home region of the former president. Before the 2020 elections, MPP had just 1 seat in the entirety of the Savannah region. 2020 elections, it increased to 3 out of 7 constituencies. So NDC 4, MPP 3. You go to the northeast region. So as it stands, northeast region 2 is 3-3. NDC 3, MPP 3. So if you look at the generality of the region, when it comes to the presidential voting pattern, NDC has always won in all these regions. But when it comes to the parliamentary, you see some dynamics changing.
I see that there's some projects that have been earmarked for the North, interchange and that, run us into it, and whether that's going to cause any change at all.
Okay,
from what we know now.
So the only visible promise that has been delivered has to do with the Sino-Hydro flyover or interchange, whatever we may want to call it, is the only thing we see that the MPP government prior to the 2016-2020 elections promised, and they have delivered.
I drove on that thing. I don't really see the big.
Yes, but let's say the people are seeing something standing there, and they can point out.
Because when you talk about a flyover, you know, it's not so you can see. The one at Pokwasi.
Yes.
You can see the one at Nkrumah Seko. You can see what's coming up at Obeche Bilanti.
So Johnny, the issue really, is that you see the plan that came. This is not what we saw in the plan.
Right.
This is far different from what.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't see the big fuss.
So the question that the people are asking is that why didn't our chiefs up north ask questions, because this wasn't what was shown to us. The Yana himself was brought to Tamale when the sword was cut for that project. So we all saw the drawings, we saw what was meant for Tamale, but that in the end we didn't see the actual thing reflecting on the ground. So aside that, the only thing we see are the usual chiefs compounds that these assemblies through their common funds put up, but in a whole year, an assembly cannot put up one chip compound because they cannot commit all the resources there. It doesn't even come. So how do they commit the resources there?
I see. Ibrahim, now there are new faces that have come into the game in terms of the parliamentary elections. A lot of new faces, really. How again is that playing out in the Ashanti region?
Well, for the Ashanti,
there are 47 constituencies, right? So run us through.
So 47, NDC has 4, and MPP has 43. And with the 4, you know, if you take Asawasi has traditionally also been an NDC seat, but you look at Edra, it's been a swing seat. NDC has won it, MPP has won it. The new Edubiasi too, same party, MPP has won it, NDC has won it. Then we have Setrafram Plains. It has been an NDC seat. It was created in 2012. Then we have another one at Afuano North, which is Tepa. Currently, MPP has the seat, but it's been won by NDC before. And this year, that place will also be one of the hotspots because we have the former member of parliament who is an NDC member, Kwesi Odusei, coming back to contest with the NADMO director because we are told the member of parliament, incumbent member of parliament, wouldn't contest again. So that place, because it is mostly settler community, so the voting pattern doesn't go one way. It keeps changing.
Because there are new people coming in every now and then.
New people coming in, and how it's not like traditional place. So people were even saying if MPP doesn't take care, they may lose it because the one on it, Sedib, is a northerner, because that place is just like a dry. You find most northerners who have settler communities in.
And
but we have
from
Nana
the Bono area as well.
Exactly. So that place is going to be hot. Asawasi, like I said, has been a traditional for the NDC. But this time around, Manaf Ibrahim, I'm sure, may also give Muntaka a run for his money, because this is a young guy who is known to many in the community. Unlike the other one, Alidu, whom Muntaka won with 21,000. This is a young guy coming in. People from both NDC and MPP just like him. They like his personality and other things. And you know, currently you go to Asawasi, there is still division within the NDC faction, because you have the constituency chairman and other executives on one end, the Muntakatu and other executives on another end. They just have to try and iron out the differences, else it may likely affect them, because the MPP is bent on taking the seat from them.
I did student activism and politics with Manaf. He used to work at the presidency as well. So I've known him since 2001, thereabout. and he's a likable personality.
Exactly.
Very likable, very calm, likable,
you come to
a
the
good
Zongo
conversationist.
communities from the opinion leaders, from the youth. It's how you also socialize with people.
Right.
Even before he decided to contest for the MPP or the parliamentary seat, people just liked his personality. So that is where it's going to play out. Then,
Ejura, Macho Kaka, and the shooting incident, claimed lives. The people, if you go to Ejura, they still talk about it with some pain in them, regarding how the military was unleashed onto them, police, water cannons, and all of that. Is that going to have an effect? Because they still talk about it with some pain.
Exactly. So the MPP has been strategic enough to relieve the then MC, who has also been a member of parliament for the area, Salisu Mohammed, because the issue started from him. So quickly they had to relieve him of his post, and he didn't even make any attempts to contest for the primary. So they now have a new face. If he had been the one coming, it would have been a major blow for them. But they now have a new face, someone who is also known to the people there. So Ejura, anytime there is election, there is also one of the hotspots, because it's Asawasi and Ejura that I'm sure half of the military is sent there just to make sure that the election is being conducted in a peaceful atmosphere. Going into the election, definitely those issues will pan out. But like I said, these are unpredictable areas that the voting pattern can easily change, because they have brought in a new face. We have Ejusu too.
Ejusu too is there, and we saw the play out.
Ebiomi will come back stronger. So for the MPP, I always say that the advantage the residents of Ejusu have is retaining or maintaining the MPP. Prior to the by-election, there were so many road projects that started, 32 road projects ongoing. And for the MPP to have maintained the seat, and the gap isn't that wide, I'm sure they will make sure that they will continue all those projects. Unlike Kumawu, they left many of the projects. But just so they are continuing, because we have just December for the elections. If you leave those projects, then it means you are giving an advantage to Owusu Edomi, who is also still coming back as an independent member.
Does the regional minister, Simon Osei-Mensah, have a hold on the region? And I'm asking this because when he was first nominated, the president called him the big elephant in the room and said that he understands party structures, he understands the party people, he's a communicator, Then we're learning that ECG staff are up in arms with him. We're also learning that school feeding caterers, largely party women organizers, he's talked at them, he said, I won't apologize. And it looks like he keeps stepping on too many toes. Does he still have a hold of the region?
Well, so the bit of communication, our Ashanti regional minister, personally, I will not say it's a good communicator.
That's what the president said in
because
2017.
He's that person who speaks his mind. But when you hold a public office, you have to be tactful in your communication issues. He thinks that he feels like speaking his mind, everything that bothers him. But like I said, we record the school feeding brouhaha and the recent ECG. Others were telling him, just apologize. And we can just move on. It doesn't take anything away from you.
He's adamant. He says he will not apologize.
He's saying he's the chairman of the Regional Security Council. And no one can dictate to him what to do. And this May Day celebration, as soon as he was called to speak,
the ECG guys walked off.
And it pained him. If you look at him, you realize that this is something
he
that
wore his
has
emotions
really,
on his sleeves.
But
I thought he was made of steel, and he was so.
There was nothing he could have done. But we believe that this is something, because honestly, the bit of even calling the police in, if the EC regional boss had even aired as the head of as the political head, I'm sure there are structures. You could even report him to his bosses, even his MD, to call him to order. But for you to call in the police to invite him and take his statement.
Same thing played out in Nigeria. That's why I keep asking, because in Nigeria, he was the one who called the general.
And he stands by what he...
Look, bring the boys. Come and,
Yeah, so during the committee sitting, he said it. He said he ordered it because that was the information he had. And, like you said, because the president said he's the best man for the job, so maybe he may not see himself doing or erring in any way, because Johnny,
so
if you are doing B and
reposed in you,
your boss is saying, "Oh, what you are doing is good," there's no way you may change.
I see.
So the bit of communication, that one, I beg to differ. His communication skills. I think he
let's go to the north again. I mean, and they've also been asking for a lot of projects, but let's go to the cost of living, because that has been heavy. I remember Ibrahim, was it Kamala and you?
Yes.
You did a kinky story.
Kinky story.
In the north. What is the story today?
Yes, the story is still not different. In fact, it's getting worse by day, because you go to buy food items from the market. We are told that the north pride itself as a food basket of the country, right. But you go to buy some food items and it's very expensive, and so you have people. It has always been said that there is high rate of poverty in the north, right. And Johnny, I must say that it isn't changing. Only a few people are able to feed themselves well, as we all know, and it all boils down to the fact that there are no job opportunities for the youth there. When it comes to agriculture, there are no incentives. Johnny, let me tell you that as it stands now, we are just about entering the farming season. To plow an acre of land, you need 400 Ghana cedis.
Right.
An acre of land.
Right.
Just plowing tractor services. Yes. 400 Ghana cedis. Now you go to buy fertilizer, which we are told that has been subsidized.
15%.
They don't even get it to buy. So it comes, and by the time it even come into the region, the farming season had almost gone to a certain stage, and you apply and you don't get the needed yield. So the people get poorer by day.
What is the state of the one village, one dam that was supposed to help with the irrigation, so that we would use the yield from those farms to feed the factories, and then the people get jobs to do? What was the story?
Okay, so the 1V, 1D, let me just say that, some dugouts we see around, but even the rainy season, these dugouts are unable to hold water.
They dry up.
You go to every community and they are complaining. Recently, I did a story from some parts of the northern region, and these are chiefs, these are community members who are saying that the contractors only come, they just push the soil from the surface, and they go to report that we are done with the dam. Let me tell you, if you go to the Pandai district, there is a community that we are told that the one village, one dam project has been completed. You go to the community, the chief will only point a land to you, that this was the land I gave them to dig that dam. Till date, it's not. So it's the member of parliament for the area, Nsala, who went to dig one dam for them. So you see, the dams are not there. Even those that they claim are there, they're not dams.
The dams are thirsty.
Very thirsty.
Oh.
Very thirsty. So, assistant, you go to them. Let me just say in general that the district chief executives themselves are unable to speak to these dams. Why? Because you go to them, they tell you that, look, we are not aware, we are just here. They tell us that someone is coming to
come and construct a dam for us.
They don't even know what it entails. So they go, whatever they see, they take it that once it's from Accra, they take it that, well, we are not aware of it. Right. But the question is that you are the development people in the districts.
Right.
So why don't you tell your people in Accra too that the dams you award and the contractors, when they come, they don't do the job.
Do a clean job.
So you take it from there. But Johnny, generally when it comes to development in the north, when we talk about schools under trees, most of these schools are from the north. People sitting on bare floor, most of these children are from the north. You go to issues bordering on health, the health infrastructure gap. I did a story from the North Gonja district where a patient was being attended to under a tree. That's the former Deputy Minister of Health's constituency. But we still have these challenges. They have to walk from Daboya to Damango or Tamale to renew just their
NHIS cards.
And in fact, when he was in office as the deputy minister, he was in charge of health insurance. So why is he not ensuring that his people get these services? So it's not too good for the people of the north.
I see. Helen.
I actually wanted to find out, the northern part of the country often sees a lot of volatility and some violence. In the 6-7 months leading up to the elections, what signals are you picking as far as security is concerned? Is that something that the constituents are really looking at in making a decision come December?
So let's look at Yendi constituency. Let me say that it's a place that we will need more security when it comes to the 2024 elections, because already what happened in the January 27 parliamentary primaries of the NPP.
Right.
And so these things, they will still play out in the 2024 elections. So all that the security services need to do is to ensure that they identify these hotspots. You talk about Yendi, you talk about the Sagnarigu constituency. As it stands now, ABF Hussein is not running again. And the MPP candidates for the 2020 elections did very well.
Right.
Felicia Tete. She moved the votes from somewhere 14,000 to 20.
Was it the same Felicia Tete who said that they COVID money?
Yes, COVID money. She only got 100,000 Ghana cedis. That's the same Felicia Tete. And so that even the defense minister's constituency, Bimbila constituency, these are hotspot areas that when it comes to violence, people should watch out for. And so the politicians themselves know these areas.
Right.
And all we need to do is to intensify security to ensure that we don't mar the beauty of the elections.
Ibra, cost of living, and the market women and Guta and all the business people, they have been talking about cost of living, cost of doing business. And they have bared their teeth to government, and they have told government that, look, we can't take it anymore. What is the story in the Ashanti region?
Well, John, it's not different from any other region. Back in the day, we know that if you stay in Kumasi, you'll be able to save more because cost of living
cost of food is cheaper.
Now the story is changing. Everything, for you to even be able to enjoy your fufu, not less than 50 cedis if on the average. But just some few months back or years back, 10 cedis you'll be able to. Is
it the people who are trying to profiteer and cheat their clients, or the food stuff are expensive?
Well, it's two-way, because when I remember going to Techimentia to do a story. So from the farm gate to the market center, I realized that the farmers themselves do not get much profit from whatever they are producing. So the people will go and pick it there, but when it gets to the market center, then it becomes extremely expensive. But now for Ashanti region, food products are expensive because we are not even producing more. You look at how Galamsey and other activities have destroyed our farmlands. So things have changed. Ordinarily, if you move to areas like Amansia West and the other villages, you are expected to bring food product, plantain and other stuff, getting them very, very cheap.
Right.
Now you go to those places, they are even expensive than buying it in Kumasi, because they don't grow them anymore. Galamsey have taken over their farmlands and other things. So the cost of living, everything is just skyrocketing. Rent, food, basic things, transportation, everything. So people are just magicians, because people are working, they are earning, let's say, 1,500. By the end of the month, they will spend more than that. And sometimes they don't even know where the excess money is coming from. So we are just magicians. So now you work, you have to struggle and be able to fend for yourself, but you can't save anything. So that is it. Now Kumasi, you get 2-bedroom, 700,000
It didn't used to be that.
It's
300,
just
350.
150, 200. Now it's just, and people are now even charging in dollars, even in Kumasi. Just at the back of our office, there is a story building there.
At
Asqua. And the woman is charging for 3-bedroom apartment. She says she's charging $2,000 month, every month.
For 3-bedroom.
3-bedroom apartment.
Hey.
She wants $2,000 every month. So I don't know. People are just importing the Accra lifestyle to Kumasi and are just making things.
It's breaking people.
But we know things are hard, but people are also just being greedy. That is how I should put it, and are just charging way beyond what they should charge for their services.
The elections for 2024, I believe, will be much more issue based than just people. Because if you, for example, play back the lady asking Dr. Baumia when I'm getting my alawa, it tells you that people now want to weigh the issues. People now want to read the manifestos. People now want to listen to the promise and ask you, okay, how are you going to fund it and all of that? Is it playing out like that in the North?
Definitely it is. Johnny, people are beginning to ask questions beyond what we've heard from these politicians, beyond what the MPP told us 2016, 2020. People are beginning to ask questions. They go to communities, they make these promises 4 years down the line. The people don't see. And when it's election time, these same politicians go to these communities and they don't even have anything to tell them again, because you promised and you failed to deliver. So this time people are beginning to know which political party or which politician is speaking the truth to them, and so they are making decisions based on what you are able to do for them, and not the fact that I've been MPP all my life, I've been NDC all my life. You have people who tell you that, look, I'm MPP, I'm NDC, but I was promised this, or my community was promised this, I did not see, and so this time I'm not going to vote because I'm MPP, I'm NDC. I'm going to vote because this party has been able to do A or B. So it is definitely playing out. You go to, let's say, the Savannah region. Okay, that's the home region of the former president.
Right.
Now, yesterday I heard the vice president say when he met the chiefs in Damango that the Salaga Tamale road is completed. That is not true.
The road is not completed.
Yes, portions of it.
But why would he say that?
So it means that someone fed him with wrong information, and so on a campaign platform, he also goes ahead to announce.
Pretty much like the Alawa issue.
Yes. So when the people themselves in this area know that these roads are still there like that, and so if I'm like a constituent and I hear that the road candidate says the road is done. It's not done. So if I go to vote, what do you expect? Definitely I'll say that credibility issues come to play and all those things. So when it comes to this election, people should not think that Yendi is the heartbeat of the MPP in the north, so they will feel that they are going to win Yendi at all costs because all the people over the years have been voting MPP. That should not be the case.
Here, Helen,
Yes, I do want to find out whether or not, especially in the northern parts of Ghana, people are buying into the idea of a third force. So, of course, we have our NDC and MPP, but what about the butterfly movements?
Kwame
Bediako. How are they embracing these, shall I say, some of the newer players in the space?
Okay, so Kwame Bediako, I must say, it's not well known in the north. But you see, when it comes to butterfly, you know Boniface Abubakar Sadiq. He's been one-time Northern Regional Minister.
Zongo Kimping.
Yes, Zongo Kimping. He's from the Salaga South constituency. He's been MP 2 terms there. So you go to these areas, you see that the butterfly is beginning to gain some grounds there, because most of the people still pay allegiance to Boniface because of what he did in the regions. So because of him, we are getting a lot of people come up to say that, look, we were MPP, now we want to support Butterfly. We want a different person to come. You have people who will not also say it in public, but when you go to them, they tell you, look, we are fed up with MPP, we are fed up with NDC, we need another person to come into the picture. So that conversation is there, but it will take these new individuals and their political parties or their groupings to make themselves visible in the north, so that they can get more people supporting them.
Is Alan Tremantin visible in the Ashanti region?
He is. He comes there often, does a lot of engagement with students, market women, and the rest. So he's visible, but the issue of changing from NDC and PP to a third force, the conversations are there. People will tell you they are fed up with NDC and PP, but deep down, they will still go to the polls and choose between MPP and NDC.
That's because they don't think that, even though they want a third force, they don't think the third force can deliver what they are looking for.
Exactly. So they need. I think in 2020, the smaller parties decided to come together to form a third force. But at the end of the day, they also had issue who become the flag bearer and other things. So that has been it. So for us to get a stronger third force, I'm not sure it will just be the butterfly. If you have other parties also coming together, because currently CPP is not doing well. They have their internal wranglings, PNC, the same thing. These were
PNC
parties
divided,
who were... CPP is also divided, because we have the national chairperson who insists she is, and we have other executives who are claiming...
But they sacked the executives en bloc.
Yes, they sacked them, but the national chairperson insists
I'm still the boss.
So that's how come, even in the Ejisu by-election, CPP was saying they've not fielded any candidate. Yet we had someone representing CPP on the ballot.
Was on the ballot.
And that person was being supported by the national chairperson and other executives. So you see, these are parties we're all looking up to, but their issue is even complicated than the NDC and the MPP. So having them come together to form a third force, I don't see the feasibility currently.
We'll talk about moneycracy in a bit, but Kosami sensed this. It says Ejura is not a swing seat. The MPP won it only once when the NDC decided to teach the then MP Honorable Pangabu a lesson, and was taken over by the NPP, and that is the only time the NDC has lost the seat and won it back in 4 years. So Kosami is giving us some facts there.
It's true, but so far as MPP has won it before, it's possible
that one instance was a swing, and it's possible that they can win it again.
So that's how come I said it. So far, you look at Ashanti, it is only Asawasi and Setrafran place that has been a traditional or loyal to the NDC since its creation.
Moneycracy. Is it happening?
It's happening. But you see, let's talk about the MPP primaries. We saw video evidence of some flat screen televisions. We heard of the MP for the Daboya Mankargo constituency with some motorbikes and refrigerators and all those things. It happens. We have politicians who are saying that they are saving for the election. Is it to buy fuel or to give to people to go and vote? These are the questions that we begin to ask. So for the money, it comes to play. And you see, when they win,
are the people demanding for the money, or the money is given to them by the political parties?
So when there is nothing to show,
to entice them.
When there is nothing to show, you use money to have your way out.
You show your money.
Yes, you use money. You have nothing to show. So all you can do is that, look, this group of people, they are hungry. Let me go and give them money. And you know the poverty level.
But Chris, not to slide tackle you there, is it a case that if you don't have anything to show, or now the foundation is now money? So even where you are coming with your own, achievements, if you don't add a bit of flour to it, you are in trouble.
That is it. If you don't add money, that is it. You forget it.
How did we get here,
Charlie?
Ibra? That money is now the decider, so that if we don't take care, you may get the wrong people getting into parliament to represent us when they have maybe tainted reputation. They are coming to the table with all manner of baggages, and they are getting there. You're getting galamsey kingpins, right? Securing primary seats to enter, and the places where they are securing these seats, it's a done deal. You're getting people with a certain record, and you ask yourself, how did we get here?
So Andy Apiakubi was also asking the same thing.
But he paid the money anyway.
He said he had to pay more than what he earned as a member of parliament just to retain his seat.
And
he said
he's a good material. A lawyer, has been a former deputy at Free Zones, Railways. He's a farmer doing very well for himself.
Yes.
So why would you want to spend a fortune?
Even the farming, I know he's put together
Rice
like a co-op. He does the farming with the constituents. So he's somebody that probably shouldn't have to even pay
but
so
still,
much.
The people collect the money.
He said this will be the end. If this is how things are going to pan out, then he's not sure 2028 he will come back, because the money you have to invest in just retaining your seat. If you are to rely on your salary as a member of parliament, there is no way you are going to get that
he'll
money.
come back. He'll come back.
So that is
he'll
what the
come back.
politicians.
They all say that, but for whatever reason, they get
a lot
money.
from there.
Yes.
So they get a lot.
They all tell us being an MP is stressful. You spend a lot. Yet it gets to primaries, then they go and take loans just to maintain
he shot
or retain
himself
their
in the
seat.
foot after he came to say that, well, the elections will not be decided based on who gives how much. And then he goes to pay. Then I think 4 months ago, he comes back to say, giving money to electorates doesn't necessarily connote corruption. So three layers, yes. And I don't know. But is there a way we can stop this moneycracy? Because a lot of decent people hit there too, and people these days talk about even the quality of the debate in parliament.
Yes.
If you listen to the J.H. Mensahs and Papa Uso Ankuma, and you listen to their era, E.T. Mensah, and you bring it down now, there's at least much to be desired.
So if you have money, you have your way out.
Yeah, but why? How did it become that?
So Johnny, if you go to the north, I have some MPs. I sit to say that, why are they in parliament?
Right.
Because you look at them, you don't see anything that they are capable of bringing on the table. So you begin to wonder, and one thing that you arrive at is money.
They had money,
they
got in.
And Johnny, we have some MPs, current MPs now. We are just waiting for, probably they know themselves that if the MPP should go out of power, they stand investigation. They have issues hanging.
Right.
And why do they have those issues? When they go, the kind of money they spend, where are they getting the money from? So they are standing investigation. And as it stands now, in fact, there are reports that indict them, waiting for, probably because they are still being covered.
They want to use Parliament to insulate themselves
from those issues. So that is the situation. But how do we get this stopped? we have gone far with this. We have gone far with this.
Is there no turning back?
Well, they will say that they won't put in money, but you go there, you don't put in money, massa.
Because it looks like, I mean, one line that ran through Ejiso, Kumeu, and then Asin North. At least these are the by-elections that we've seen. People openly saying that, look, Mami's Kanam got to about maybe they need 200, maybe they need 100, maybe this. So then it's becoming normalized.
It started from the primaries, but I think that maybe if we open the electoral college, it is likely going to reduce it, because if you have just 800 people deciding for a whole constituency, who will represent them? Because even though we are saying people are discerning, we still have constituencies. All that you need to do is to win the primaries. Automatically you become a member of parliament. So you have 800 people. For the 800 people, the person can cater for them. If he decides to give everybody 5K, it's possible. But if the main election, they don't spend those monies, in there, because you have 100,000 people in a constituency. You can't give everybody money.
No. Johnny,
but if
they spend more.
They spend more?
General elections, they spend more than the primaries. The primaries, they have a targeted group. Okay. So let's say I have a budget of, let's say, 1 million Ghana cedis for 500 delegates.
Right.
So I know how much I'm giving each one of them. But in 2020 elections, we saw people with this Mancrefi bags moving around polling centers and dashing people money.
Wow.
Look, it's terrible. People are wasting money on election days. So when they are saving their money, they tell you that they are not saving for the primaries, because primaries, they have targeted group. With the primaries, Johnny, if I'm your friend and I'm contesting, you know I'm dealing with 500 delegates.
Right.
You say, okay, I will support you with 1,000.
So I can
I'll take care of 5
people,
or 10 of the delegates for you. But with the general elections, look, people sell their properties, their houses, just to go and inject.
And that's why people get BP and
into
collapse.
The general elections. So
it's true. People go to hospital, everything,
they collapse.
admission.
So because they are dealing with a larger group of people, they spend a lot.
Was it the NDC or the MPP that decided to run the elections concurrently, so that it's just one election?
That's NDC.
NDC did that,
NDC.
Right? One election, so the primaries and everything. Let's do it once.
That's NDC.
As a way of saving money, and people were angry.
When they did it, they have to withdraw it. They withdrew it because, one, a lot of people found themselves into the voter register.
Right.
So because it was opened, it's not just for card-bearing members of the NDC.
Right.
So if I'm contesting in maybe Salaga South, and I know people, friends, I can bring on board to vote for me to win, I just bring them, regardless of the fact that they are not party members. So that actually, it was a good move, but unfortunately they opened it. I heard MPP say that they are also going to bring that thing where it will be open for all. If they do that, probably they will have to issue cards to their members.
Right.
So you come, the card is your identity.
Right, and then you use that.
Yes,
to
and
cast
you
your
use
vote.
that, then you'll be part of the electoral college.
Gentlemen, we have to go. Ibra, closing thoughts, and then Chris, closing thoughts.
Well, 2024 December 7 election, like you said, it will be based on issues. For the people of Ashanti region, most of them are just hoping that promises made be delivered. At least we have just less than 6 or 7 months or so to go. I know some of the promises may not be able to be fully delivered, but at least if we see work ongoing on several projects, I'm sure that may also be able to play out. But now people are just beginning to get fed up with the unfulfilled promises. And like you said, now people are beginning to ask questions whether those promises will be feasible or not. So as we enter into the election, we also have that responsibility. It's just a contest of ideas, and not fighting about.
So, Johnny, you know that there is a certain MP who flies with the helicopter. Anytime he goes to his constituency, he goes with the helicopter. You understand? So we have that MP. We have an MP who has said that the budget for his 2020 campaign can finance 40% of the MPP national budget. So you know how much went into this constituency. But I just want to say that people are beginning to realize that it's not just about the talks, but it's about what you are able to do for them. So let's hope that the electorates themselves, this is the decider for Ghana. I always say that. Let's hope that we take this upon ourselves to elect competent people to represent us.
Helen?
Well, we're all looking towards December 7, 2024. This is, of course, your election command center. So I hope we whet your appetite this morning, and you're looking forward to all of that. We're just beginning.
Into politics is making politics unattractive. And I tell you, and I sound this warning, if this is the way we are going to go all out, next time I will not be competing, because it's not worth spending all this kind of money and not getting anything back. Unfortunately, people think that when you go to parliament, you make money. The converse is the truth. It is an exact opposite. People who come to parliament, if you don't have any profession, you will not be able to succeed in parliament. And most of our people are losing because they didn't have the capacity, the financial resources to contest. Some of us have come through because of our professional earnings. We can continue to earn money in our professions and come and dump them in politics and even attract the insults and the undermining and the name calling. So politics is becoming unattractive. And I'm serving this note that if we don't change our ways of selection, I will not be a candidate next time. We need to select people who have the capacity and the competence and the interest and the energy to go into parliament. We don't have to pick anybody to go in. I cannot be a mason. I cannot be a carpenter. But
The best in the morning is on 92.7 Sunrise on 3